Hello, good evening. We are back tonight. I guess we're at the Star Drop Saloon right now. Anyway, to catch you up from last time, we were working on a character sheet for my original character, Liv. She is a med tech in the Cyberpunk Red campaign I'm in. Um, and yeah, we are working on just adding her outfits. If you were in last time, I oh, the music's loud for me. Hopefully it's not too loud for anyone on your guys' end. But anyway, I colored in the base colors since last time and adjusted a couple of details here and there just so we can get to the fun part of doing the outfit design. And what we're going to start with is a little bit of line art for the outfits over Liv's base. Oh, and the color palette we added right here. I color picked from the drawing of Liv in that other image I used. But right now I have different images for my stuff, which I will show here in a little bit when I get to that point. But right now, actually, let me actually get another one. Oh, that's big. Let's make that smaller. Yeah, so this is who we're making a character sheet for, essentially. Oh, hello, I don't want to be behind that. There we go. Much better. So to start things off, we're going to probably just do the jacket off first because we could just add the jacket on another layer. But yeah, let's get started. And we're going to start with the sketch layer like last time. Um, like I mentioned before, I don't think I'm going to do the same shirt because Liv does wear multiple shirts in this universe. Um, but I do have an idea about that, but we will get to it when I finish drawing the rough sketch of it. Lately, I've just been having the biggest trouble just drawing shirt collars lately. But you know what? I'm gonna erase that and try again. And Clair Obscure just reminds me that Liv was actually rolled to be like from French origin when I was rolling her for the very first time in Cyberpunk. And this Clair Obscure music reminded me of that. I have plans to draw her in a very obnoxiously French outfit, even though she has never worn anything like that. She is very much a practical girl. But I mean, working at Trauma Team, as is her background, who has time to get yourself all pretty and stuff? Okay. Draw over there. Wrinkles and all that. My itchy nose. Oh, her crop top is a little bit longer in the image, so we'll do that. Yeah, even angling it down helps a little bit. And this is why I do the rough sketch phase, so I can just play around without commitment. Okay, perfect. And now we're going down to the pants, which when I designed her in the reference image I have behind me, I was thinking of David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So go that way, and then have that. Yeah, there we go. We got his like baggy pants. So I'm just gonna copy that again. Actually going to move him aside now that I'm thinking about it just a little bit. Whoa, what did I move? Not David. There we go. Move him aside a bit, and I'm also going to turn Liv on at the same time because I did make some adjustments. Yeah. Oops. Move me back. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we have her that right under her belly button, so we're gonna draw that right there, or doodle that right there at this point. Obviously, we'll make it a little cleaner when I get everything just like down. At the ankles, we have the elastic. No, and the great thing about finally getting a character reference sheet for Liv is that I can stop going to my really shaded and complexly colored images and turning off all my shading layers so I can get the right colors, and instead it's just like a sheet right here. Because I am very forgetful. I have the basics down, but like the finer details of Liv, like I always just forget. Especially since this is probably like design version 6 of her, so I just kind of get them all mixed up. Just get the... We'll work out the wrinkles better in the nicer sketch, but it's just to basically get a handle on how it's going to kind of sit on her, informed by like how Trigger drew the pants on David. I should really draw, or speaking of Trigger, I should really draw Kamina again sometime. Easily my favorite character of that anime. Yeah. Okay, and neither of these pictures shows pockets, but I do have a surprise third picture that I can bring up since we're just looking at pants. Yeah. Bring that up. Perfect. Okay, it doesn't look like David's wearing pockets. He might also be wearing different pants in that picture, but you know what? That works. But knowing that and everything, I'm going to make Liv's belt just a little bit thicker. And you know what? It's probably smart if I don't use OBS for my reference thing and just open it up on my screen myself. Okay. There we go. So it hides her thighs a little bit, but that's fine. We'll get that fixed. Or, I mean, like, it should, because, like, these are very baggy pants, and she definitely goes for comfort over accentuating her features. We'll have a little bit more fun with that when we, draw her in, non-canonical outfits. Okay. My usual mod is, really busy right now, but when they get in, I have, like, a feature I'm really excited to show them. Just to basically show them that I'm smarter than them. No, but it was just a feature I asked how they did it last night, and they didn't know, so I used the power of DuckDuckGo, because I don't use Google, to try and find out how to implement my new redeem, essentially. Oh! Hi, Akshi. Hi, Raiders. Thanks for coming in. I was just actually talking about Akshi. Hi. Hi, Louie. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hi, Akshi. I'll give you a shout out. Yeah. Akshi is more of a gaming streamer, while I am more of an art streamer. To introduce myself, I am Sparkly Anarchy. Oh, I'm glad you kicked Nurglass. I'm Sparkly Anarchy. I am an obsolete physics research unit who has been incorrectly disabled, so I came back to life. And since And since I'm up and about, I decided to pursue my dreams of being a starving artist since I'm a robot and I don't need to eat anyway. Um, but yeah, nice to have you all here. Feel free to raid and go if you want, or otherwise, definitely just sit back, relax, and you can. I'm just gonna yabber on while I do some doodling. Also, now that Akshi's here, I just wanted to brag about how I figured out how to do my new redeem. If you want, you can now download RAM to improve your computer performance. Hopefully, this doesn't break everything. And it'll tell you how much RAM you've Oh my god, that's so loud. Um, it'll tell you how much lifetime RAM that you've installed. I think there's a 5-minute timer, but I think I'm gonna have to go in and turn off the alert sounds for that because that is so loud. Oh, okay, so I'm glad that I'm just the only one that gets harassed with the alert sound. It's on a cooldown when it probably doesn't need to be. Oh, thanks for redeeming first, Louis. Um, no, I definitely put in a timer on purpose just because, like, oh yeah, no, I trust you, Louis. You were definitely first. First time ever, everything. Um, no, I put a timer on the download RAM just because, like, I figured it would get more engagement. I don't know, I was experimenting with that, but it wasn't a mistake. Anyway, I was drawing pants. And it doesn't look like he has pockets, but there's a lot more wrinkles than what I've got going on so far. You're gonna hug a great unclean one? Well, I hope you're wearing a hazmat suit or something. The Drukhari are pretty rad. I don't know too much about them. I'm more of a Warhammer Fantasy person than 40k. All my knowledge of 40k essentially just comes from Rogue Trader. Oh yeah, they torture probably Slaanesh, right? Flesh pillows. I can't imagine that would be too comfortable. Actually, I don't think so. Based on how insulation stuff works. I feel like if it's flesh pillows, it's just gonna kind of be like leather, and it's gonna be kind of like one of those things where if you're like staying in a grandparent's house on their leather couch or something, and you just stick to it in the middle of the night. Drukhari are so fucked that they want to have warm pillows. Not cool. Okay, and now I want to doodle the shoes. I'm gonna get rid of that. Gonna switch up my reference images again. Yeah, those are the shoes I use. So I'm assuming you guys did good in Darktide and stuff for after I left? Well, I'm glad you had a good team. Okay, she doesn't have... Got fucked at the end because of RNG, but nothing anyone can do. I don't know enough about Darktide, but what do you... There's RNG in it? Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, why is there like a random thing like... Yeah, one of these days I'll end up being able to play Darktide, but right now my laptop can't even have a browser open while I stream. And just as a warning, I have the sniffles again today, so hopefully I'll try to remember to mute before I sniffle, but if I forget, I apologize in advance if that grosses you out. There's one shoe. You know what? Because I work... I work smarter but not harder. Yeah. There we go. What's Actually's least favorite faction? Probably Ultramarines, because they're boring.
Oops. Actually, just erase all the shoe and start over because they're just so different from front and back. Yeah. We have I'm just kind of guessing on the wrinkles here. I wonder if I have a reference of that shoe where I can infer the back or if I have to imagine it. Okay, that gives me a little bit more. Let's pull that one up. There we go. And I've kind of removed all Nike branding, so I'm trying to think of what I could put on there instead. But right now I'm just getting the shape, so I have a little bit of time to figure that out at least. Okay, we still got the loopies going. It's pretty good for a messy sketch of that. Perfect. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. How to do the same thing again for the side profile. Actually, no, I should probably do the additional belt and the straps. Whoops. Gonna hide the shoe here for a second. There we go. Okay, got one loop done. Here we go. Got that set. Oh. I muted and everything and thought I had to sneeze. Alright. Fixing up the sleeve just a little bit again. Cool. Now we just got the side profile to do. Okay, right above. So yeah, that's the good thing about having the grid view going on for these drawing stuff, because I can kind of match up the height and see what's going wrong based on that. And try to match it up best I can. Yeah, perfect. Round that out a little bit. Okay, the sleeve is actually a little shorter based on that. actually going to need the other David image again.
Thanks, actually. I am a lot faster at drawing clothes than I am than bodies so far. Okay, that's how it's... I guess it would make sense that it's... Okay, I actually need to fix my butt layer because it looks like, based on this image, they meet at the back. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, actually. Yeah, so because that gives more room to be suspenders and stuff. Oh yeah, that's rad. And this is why we use references. I was making an incorrect assumption, and I would have looked silly. So I'm going to switch up this side too, just a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Got her butt. Again, we'll work out the clothes wrinkles a little bit better when I work on that part of the drawing. But right now I'm just kind of basing it off of vibes. Belt buckle. About there. So it would look something like... Whoa! Well, we got 2 gigs of RAM going.
Perfect.
What type of art do I do? Well, mostly I just do digital art, so like I'm just on Procreate right now. But I do have experience with all sorts of stuff. I have a watercolor set. I've done pencil sketches and stuff. I do have gouache, the paint that's like a watercolor but not also, but I haven't played with that one yet, so I don't have experience yet. And in terms of like commissions, yeah, I don't have many listings open, but I do have, let's see if this command works. I do have a coffee where I do have some slots open right now. But the store page is still a work in progress, excuse me. No, yeah, I totally get that. Take care of yourself first. But thank you for asking. Um, yeah, for now, I only do safe for work. Especially since it breaks Twitch's terms of service. But for like personal stuff, like I've drawn spicier art, but so far not upon request or anything. You'd low-key love to make like a Drukari like persona type thing. That would be cool. It would be a lot of like leathers and shit, right? Um, but no, that would be really neat. The Drukari are Hellraiser, but elves. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I see pain as pleasure. Yeah, I got the vibe of that when I was playing Rogue Trader. Okay. And that's the rough sketch done for that. So now we can do something cleaner. You used to love Necrons, now you love Pain Elves. What a change. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Drukhari still feel emotions very strongly. That's very similar to the elves in Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah, okay. I don't remember if in Fantasy if Slaanesh is pause for the same exact reason, or if it's just like kind of like warp overlap nonsense. And it's just also the Drukhari that caused Slaanesh. I don't remember. It's been a little bit since I've looked at Warhammer Fantasy, but yeah, Slaanesh is pretty cool, all things considered. It's a shame that Chaos is bad and will gobble the elves up now, or Drukhari, or Eldar, or whatever faction. Yeah, I know. And okay, yeah, the Eldari. So in like 40K, were they like sort of the same faction and then the Drukhari broke off, or were they always like two different things? There is also the Inari that saved the Ghoulie men from dying and has an alliance with them. That part of lore I'm not super familiar with. Okay, Primarch of the Ultramarines region of the Imperium. Okay. As you know, 40K lore is just WoW to learn. Yeah. I think that's just Warhammer lore in general. Fantasy can get just as messy and confusing. Oh, thanks, actually. Yeah, I didn't realize it had already been an hour. I was just yapping. Yeah, I will take an hour, or not an hour. I will take a couple minutes to stretch, go to the bathroom real fast, and I will be right back. Let me get. All right, I'm back. And back to it. What's Akshi's favorite faction within factions? I'm curious to see what their answer is too, because I'm assuming they're going to steal mine. But I'll see. Wait for them to respond before I see. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about taking breaks and like stretching during them, because the last time I streamed the other day, I did not do that and my body was very mad at me. For you, it's the Arbites. For Space Marines, it's the Minotaurs. Okay. I'm a pretty big fan of Harlequins and the Solitaires uh, in particular. I just find their whole thing pretty fascinating to the point where I shamelessly kind of stole their concept for a campaign I'm running in fantasy. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Eldari, but from what I know about them, I think they're really cool, and I find them a lot more fascinating than the elves in Warhammer Fantasy, which I am known to not really care for the elves in fantasy. Yeah, they used to run the galaxy, then it fell. They are Fillet-based faction now. Yeah, and like I know the Imperium freaking hates them. Okay, fleet. I was like fillet. That's an interesting way, but yeah, fleet makes way more sense. Yeah, and that's because most of their worlds were like destroyed, right? Necrons hate them. I think everyone hates the Eldari, from what I understand. They're kind of not cool with them creating Slaanesh. Okay, well, Imperium don't really know them. Okay, then Rogue Trader must have given the wrong impression. Yeah, yeah. Close. My least favorite faction? Well, like I said, I hardly know anything about. No, I think the tower pretty cool. I like how they're just um basically about freedom, I think. I don't know. I don't know too much, but what I do know is that they have really cool mechs. Um no, I'm probably going to be pretty basic about that, and I don't really care for the um Space Marines, but I also don't know all like the different factions and stuff. But that's just me knowing like very surface level stuff about 40K in general. They use mind control and try to use diplomacy with said mind control. Okay, I can see why people aren't about that, but honestly, like that's pretty neat and probably one of the least like uh egregious things people do in 40K. Tried on the orcs and Tyranids. I adore what they do with orcs in 40K. I just love how they're football hooligans, and I also love how like their imagination makes things come true. Wah. Yeah, orcs do hold a special place, I think. Kind of what they did with them was like super unique and just they're just so funny. They have flying rocks, crash faster buttons, red go fast, purple stealth, yellow loud and powerful. That's I knew about red go fast. I didn't know about all the other stuff, but that's really funny. Um no, I feel like that's like the one time where what you paint your minis really matters. But I guess I don't know the rules for the tabletop battle game either. Okay. There. And that's the idea I had for the t-shirt. I saw one in like a really nice used store boutique. One guardsman killed a whole horde of orcs by finger gunning them and saying bang. Pro strat. Pro strat. No, you don't have to apologize for it. I enjoy Warhammer a lot. I just unfortunately don't know too much about 40K, so I apologize if I'm not keeping up very well. Thoughts on Henry Cavill's Warhammer Amazon thing? Honestly, until like yesterday, I thought that it was canceled, so I I guess it's a wait and see. I'll give it a shot to watch. Um and honestly, since we're talking about Warhammer so much, here's a Twitch channel if I can go get there. No matches. Hopefully I did that right. Oh, that's why. Oh, it's gonna be years like 2027, 2028 minimum. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. But no, speaking of Warhammer stuff, Lorebeards pretty much covers that, and I think they just started their 40K stuff, so that's a really cool place. I know they're more popular on YouTube than Twitch, but I felt like it was relevant to shout them out right now. Okay, since it's a graphic, we don't really want the. So do you just play Darktide, or do you do like the war game too? Um, what's the difference between 40K and Fantasy Warhammer? Um, Quite a bit of things. They're entirely different settings. Fantasy takes place on one planet, essentially. I mean, there's a couple of mentions of the moon, but mostly it takes place in sort of like a typical fantasy setting, grimdark, um, where you have wizards and stuff like that. You're new to the Warhammer, you've known about it for years, but recently have just loved it. I mean, you seem like, at least to me, like an expert in 40K, but like I said, I don't know too much about the 40K side. But fantasy, yeah, it's more just essentially the same chaos gods, the same sort of deal. The magic works differently, but the Aether and the Warp are pretty similar-ish because they used to be the exact same thing in the first edition of Warhammer. You watch a good content creator called Arbiter Ian. Okay. He did Horus Heresy in 40 minutes. That's pretty impressive because Horus Heresy, that's pretty long, isn't it? Like that's the big story in 40K, I think. Oh wow. So yeah, that's a book a minute. No, I agree that it is super impressive. I'm very much when I like get onto a topic and stuff, I ramble a lot. Um so I definitely could not do that in 40 minutes, especially if I had like read all 40 books and prep for that. Warhammer is so addictive because you can't really learn it all. So you keep coming back one day, new chapter, next day, new war, next day, new Chaos Marines. Yeah, that's always really, really nice finding something new about the different factions or new big events and everything like that. Um, that's a little bit different from fantasy because they did technically end the world permanently, or so they say. So there's not really anything new popping up, but no, 40K is like the potential for expansion's really neat. Yeah, so it's just on one planet, so but like there's a bunch of different countries and stuff like that. Yeah, so hi Natasha! Nice to see you here. Yeah, millions in 40K. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a whole uh galaxy. But but yeah, shout out to Spore if I can spell it. Did I not do it right? There you go. But yeah, go and check her out. She does a bunch of gaming. I forgot to tell you, like last time yeah, Nurgle is based. Yeah, last time I dropped in one of your streams, I forgot to mention, but like your laugh was like so like infectious and contagious. I hopefully that's not too weird, too forward, but I don't know. I just wanted to tell you that your laugh was very nice and your stream was very fun to sit and listen on. Yeah, of course. Tell you about fantasy. Well, there's quite a bit. It's hard to choose where to start, so I guess yeah, the winds do have colors. Green's really cool. I like the gray wind, but I like illusions and stuff. But Gyron is pretty sweet as well. Yeah, honestly, with when I started with fantasy, I learned most of it by joining a campaign, and just kind of experiencing the world that way. But I know a lot of people got into it. Yeah, there's a really cool red one. What are the factions? Well, they also have an Imperium. They have Bretonnians, which are like the French. They have Chileans and Estalians. Yeah, chaos. Um, the elves, the dwarves. The dwarves are really funny. The dwarves are very Sandgors. Yeah, they have the same chaos gods as 40k. Yeah, they have Zinch. Did you know Korn gave an orc warband a planet to have an infinite war against some of his demons? No, I didn't know that, but that makes sense. Tuska Demon Killer. I love I love orc names. More RAM. Your least favorite faction is probably the Imperium. I mean, that probably just comes with being like, you know, the default basic thing. But maybe they also stink gameplay-wise. I'm not sure. I think Necrons are neat. Isn't there like a book or something about like a Necron having a pissing match with like another like basically immortal person? Trizon, your favorite thing in Warhammer? Bro has everything he wanted to take the fucking Emperor, but knew it would cause issues. He has Pokemon balls, and he could just summon an Orc Warbrand or some Imperial Guard regiment to fight on his behalf. Just casually having Pokemon battles in Warhammer, I love it. He has a clone of Fulgrim. Okay. I am vaguely aware of Fulgrim only in that there's a lot of fan art of of the guy on Tumblr shipped with the non-clone Fulgrim, so I guess OG Fulgrim. I didn't really understand. I was just letting Tumblr have their fun with that one. I guess taking Custodes, Type Tyrants, a whole Genestealer cult, whole Imperial Guard regiments and battles, Orc war bands, and even more we don't know, and or I forgot. That's crazy, especially I didn't know like anyone could take like a whole Genestealer cult. They just seemed like very um like an infestation that's really difficult to stamp out, kind of like bed bugs or something. Treason traded gene seeds to the former Emperor's children chief apothecary for his clone of Fulgrim. Fabius Bile, apothecary, was worried the clone would fall to Slaanesh like the actual Primarch. Fabius Bile is kind of a cool name, but it also sounds like you're just kind of being set up to fall for Nurgle. Welcome to Trizon. He is the most beloved characters. No, I'll have to look into him more because he sounds really neat. That's right, I forgot about that. Because it's like all Necron stuff. Fabius Bile is renegade, doesn't follow chaos, he just does his cloning work. That's valid too. I'm kind of proud of Games Workshop then. They usually like try to be very not subtle with their puns or anything. Thank you, actually. I will stretch. He's getting too powerful. Okay. Wrist stretch is done. Yeah, actually, you need to catch up. Otherwise, you are going to be
blown out of the water. There we go. All right, now we're ready for the side view. Going to lurk while you rest. Well, it was nice of you to drop by and hang out and chat for a little while. Have fun lurking. Thank you. Six gigs of RAM. You almost have half of what's on a standard computer, at least what used to be before it got like super expensive.
Imagine living in the Imperium. It wouldn't be great. From all intents, or like from all I've heard, like it's not a it's not a real good time. No, I'd want to be a Necron, sleep and more sleep, or cute Drakari. Both sound pretty good. I don't think I would have the stomach for a Drukari, but I could handle sleeping as much as a Necron. Drukari is letting the intrusive thoughts rule you. True, true. Pot of boiling water, touch fire, see if it's warm, etc., etc. Spinning saw blade poke. Oh god. Not sure if it was true, you'll have to look, but there was a Space Marine chapter that made a Drukari talk via torture. And it was done by showing no emotion. Yeah, that would kind of have to be like the only way. The only other thing I could think of is forcing them to like travel through the warp like humans do, because I know that's, or at least Rogue Trader made it seem like that. They would like get really stressed out about it.
Or name translated to space sharks, you think? That's really cool regardless. A card Kachardon Space Sharks chapter successfully forced your Kari Dark Elder to talk through torture, specifically sensory deprivation. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. Almost done with the line art here. Double checking I didn't miss anything major. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, the loopies. Perfect. Do you know most planets will never see war? Really? Okay. That may... Thanks, actually. Um, Yeah, let me get these layers established. So yeah, before I go on break, the most planets don't see war. That's wild to me, considering like chaos is this huge thing. So just like business is on like normal. And to see a space marine is a space marine too. Oh, a space marine. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, it is. I'll wait till it's on the hour. So I will start. What's a color I won't be using? Imagine seeing Kitsotes. That's like, oh god, we're fucked. Yeah. Guardsmen are just the best. They do everything. Okay. I don't know too much about them, but it is the top of the hour, so get invaded, hold, and push back. Okay. Yeah, it's the top of the hour, so I'm gonna take a couple minutes to take a quick break, stretch and stuff again. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Louis, you're gonna go to eat. Well, I hope you have a good sleep, but you're probably gone by now because I walked away for my break. But another cool fact: the tallest space marine has to have Terminator armor with dreadnought parts to fit him properly. Well, that's really cool. No, I definitely need to look up more like 40K stuff. Sorry, I had to yawn there for a second. More RAM? 8 gigs of RAM, that's one stick! Yeah, I added music from Valhalla to this stream, and I am pretty happy with it. I'm glad that I thought about that game before going live today. I wish, for some reason, excuse me, the Deltarune music wasn't like getting like people stricken for like no reason, or at least on YouTube, but like for archival purposes, I don't want YouTube fucking with my VODs when I upload it. Oh, I forgot that I also managed to, as an idea, could you maybe do some Warhammer art? Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. In the future, I don't have any pieces planned, but I do have at least fantasy like characters and stuff that I like drawing out. Um, well, let's see. Yeah, I could do this easily. Oh, my mic was off. Cool. All right, sorry about that. We're getting into technical difficulties. I might still be having technical difficulties. My PC's acting weird. Okay. Yeah, I just killed it. I just killed my browser. Is my everything working fine? Yeah, sorry about that, Louie. My whole everything crashed. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe I kicked a cord or something, or one of my cats, like, attacked a router or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what happened yet, but hopefully it doesn't happen again. Wait, actually, does it lock you out per user for the 5 minutes? Oh, okay. That was not how I meant to do that, but Louie's getting a head start on you then because I configured it wrong. It makes it a contest now. I guess it is fitting. There's only so much RAM now. That's why it's so expensive. Okay, okay. If it makes it cooler, yeah, I can limit it. My RAM is cheap. Also add more RAM for more points. That does make sense. I would have to figure out how to do the counter a little bit differently, but I can't imagine that it'd be impossible. If you could configure that, that would be funny. Or I just have it be the same way and be like a leaderboard for the cheap RAM and then the leaderboard for like the expensive RAM. Expensive RAM for like 1,000 points. It's just 2 gigs. One more than you sleep. Give actually the chance to catch up. Well, yeah, I mean, with how the stream settings are, but Louis was first earlier. Well, you know what? Actually, Louis got 11 gigs of RAM. Have a good eat, Louis. If you have more than me, I'm turning you into a flesh pillow. That's a promise. I'd like to see you try. I'll just end this stream right before Akshi gets 11 RAM, just so they're always behind. Yeah, looking at the time, I don't know if I'll be able to get to the obnoxiously French outfit tonight. So maybe that's something that I'll just like do in my own time or save for another stream or something. We'll see though. We'll see. We are a little bit more French. Yeah, yeah. No, when I first created Liv for the Cyberpunk campaign, I was playing her and she ended up becoming French. Becoming French, massive downgrade. Holy. Yep, it's her one flaw. Unfortunately, she is French. That's worse than hell, I swear to God. I agree. Ignore the fact that you love the French accent. Actually, that sounds like a skill issue. I was gonna say, Louis, you are still downloading RAM in your sleep? Dedication. Have a good eat, Louis. Now things are extra French. Ugh. Oh, I see what happened. Honestly, maybe I should probably get like a really cute like image or GIF or something for like the RAM downloads or something, especially since it's going to apparently be popping up roughly every 5 minutes. Thanks, actually, I will stretch. And apparently rub my mic all over my sweater. All right, all stretched out now. Yay, the RAM does work for you. You've only been able to grab the RAM once.
You don't need much RAM. You don't need much. All you need is enough to, like, run Doom or something. So honestly, if we're gonna keep it competitive, I should probably raise the price from 10 points, shouldn't I? So I'm working on this, but I'm actually really excited to work on the next illustration I started this morning. And essentially, it's going to be just a redraw of, I'll pull it up. It's going to be a redo. Oh my god. Please click. iPad. Yeah, a redo of this drawing in better style. Oh my god, that was already 2 years ago. And that's what I got so far. But like nothing to really focus on right now. But I might just leave that drawing for myself since it's going to be a pretty involved illustration with me practicing. What's that one going to be? I don't know when you said that, but like I said, it's going to be a redraw of the characters with the lantern. But I just might keep that for myself and then just like do another like character illustration or something. On stream the next time I do that, whenever that is.
Yeah, I think next stream, if I decide not to do like the obnoxiously French outfit, maybe we'll just do like a regular character illustration instead of a full-on character sheet, but that just totally depends on what I come up with. Because I do have a couple other characters on the docket that could use character sheets and could give me some good practice regardless. Alright, perfect. Alpha lock, and now we're going to do a clipping mask. And this just allows it so I can stay within the lines and not have to worry about coloring over Liv in the wrong places. Okay. It's a little too dark for now. There we go. What the heck? Clipping mask. 2 gigs of RAM. Do you have this on a timer? I feel like it was just like clockwork. Oh, I missed some spots. If you had a timer, you wouldn't be losing Louis. I could just see it now. You're laying in bed, stream's over, and you're just still like going back and telling more RAM. No, I definitely do. Like, I'll keep it at 10 for the rest of the stream, just so, like, in terms of fairness. But I think for next stream, I'm going to raise that to, like, 50 or something. Damn inflation. Yeah, I know, I'm the worst. I gotta... I don't make money, but, like, I still need sparkles to eat or something. Or I don't need to eat, but I do need sparkles to subsist. Or whatever the word is. Whoops. right. Oh, I guess I did forget one detail. Hold on one second. There we go. Whoops. Okay. That should hopefully have covered all the places missed. Okay. Yeah. And then the inside of the pants. Or backside, I guess I should say. you going for another hour or calling it? I'm probably going to go for another hour. Get that 4 hours in. Because what if you want to eventually get affiliate, you gotta stream for an average of 4 hours per stream, don't you? Or like day or whatever. Oh, just 4 hours in a week. That makes sense. I'll go for a little bit longer. At least get like the pants colored and stuff. But no, I'm actually having like a lot of fun coloring Liv, but I might finish her sheet in my own time. And then the next time I stream, we'll start a new project. I just haven't decided what that will be yet. Probably more cyberpunk stuff. Because, I want to get a good portfolio of that because I would love to work on, basically cyberpunk projects just because, like, I think they're just, like, it's a great type of setting, good stories. I like the satirical nature of it, along with, like, the sci-fi-ness of everything. I'm gonna erase some of the line art stuff here. So I'm kind of want to keep that cyberpunk kick for a while at least. Whoops. You know, actually, I am kind of sleepy, so I was planning on going till 10, but I might end it a little bit early just because, just so I can rest and hang out and chill. Um, but let's see. Um, let's see. Would it even be worth it to raid to anyone? I can't see who's even online to raid. I don't even know how to raid. You'd say so? That it's worth it or not worth it? Go to my stream manager. Oh, you mean risk crashing my stream by opening my browser? No, I think it's fine. I think it's just yeah, no, I think until we get like it should be fine. Yeah. Okay. I will open it up and see. Maybe we'll see who's going on. Oh my god. It's immediately jumping everything up like 30%. And it hasn't even finished loading. Well, I guess I'll see if my stuff ever loads. Oh my god. No, DuckDuckGo just crashed. Anyway, so I guess I will just raid for next time, or look into seeing if mods could do it for me, or maybe like doing it from some other device or something. But I will eventually get that hammered out. But I have a new socials button. I also have, oh, I'm just chugging along now. That. I'm very proud of all the things I added today. But anyway, I might stream tomorrow. I might not. It depends on how EP I am. But if I do stream tomorrow, it'll probably be a game instead. But yeah, next time, if I do end up finishing this character sheet on my own, I will show it in the next stream just to show off for the case of, or for the sake of keeping things like chained together. But yeah, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for having fun. Thanks for downloading RAM. It will be more expensive next time. And yeah, have a good night.